The 20th century, a time of innovation and progress, yet shrouded in mystery, particularly when it comes to its unsolved crimes. These unsolved mysteries have a certain allure, a captivating enigma that continues to draw us in. They represent the unresolved, the unanswered, the pieces of the puzzle that are still missing. And it's this missing piece, this unanswered question, that keeps us hooked. It's the human instinct to seek answers, to solve puzzles, to bring closure. But when closure is elusive, when the answers are not forthcoming, the mystery deepens, the intrigue intensifies. And it's this intensifying intrigue that makes these unsolved crimes of the 20th century so fascinating. Each case is a labyrinth of clues, a maze of possibilities, a riddle waiting to be solved. As we delve into the abyss of these unsolved mysteries, prepare to be intrigued, mystified, and perhaps a bit unsettled. First on our list is a case as chilling as it is perplexing: the Black Dalia murder. In the heart of post-war Los Angeles, a woman named Elizabeth Short became the centerpiece of one of the most gruesome unsolved murders of the 20th century. Known posthumously as the Black Dalia, Short's murder was a spectacle of horror that gripped the nation. Her body, found mutilated and severed at the waist, was a sight that shocked even the most hardened detectives. The media frenzy that followed was unprecedented, with newspapers capitalizing on the gruesome details and the mystery of the killer's identity. Despite a multitude of suspects and countless hours of investigation, the case ran cold. The identity of the Black Dahlia's killer has remained a mystery, evading the grasp of both the Los Angeles Police Department and amateur sleuths. Despite the passing of decades, the Black Dalia murder continues to puzzle investigators and crime enthusiasts alike. Next, we delve into the cryptic world of the Zodiac Killer, a case that has baffled authorities for over half a century. Emerging from the shadows of the late 60s, the Zodiac Killer left a chilling legacy that has captivated the world. This phantom killer is infamous for his cryptic ciphers, a series of coded messages sent to the press, some of which remain unsolved to this day. The chillingly casual way he claimed responsibility for the gruesome murders attributed to him only added to the enigma. Theories surrounding his identity are as numerous as they are diverse. From scorned lovers to disgruntled military personnel, the list of potential suspects is long, but conclusive evidence is sparse. Despite the passage of time and the relentless pursuit of answers, the identity of the Zodiac Killer remains shrouded in mystery. While the Zodiac Killer may be silent, the mystery surrounding him certainly isn't. From a serial killer to a single unidentified victim, our next mystery takes us to the beaches of Australia with the Summerton Man and the Tamam Shud case. In late November of 1948, an unidentified man was found lifeless on Summerton Beach. His pockets held no identification, but they did contain one perplexing clue, a scrap of paper reading, Tamam Shud. This phrase, meaning ended or finished in Persian, sparked an international mystery that persists to this day. The man was impeccably dressed, showing no signs of struggle or distress. An autopsy revealed no apparent cause of death, further deepening the enigma. The case took a peculiar turn when a car near the crime scene was found to contain a hidden compartment with a peculiar book. This book, a collection of 12th century Persian poems known as the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam, was missing its final page. The very page that would have contained the phrase Tamam Shud, but the enigma didn't end there. Inside the book, investigators discovered a cryptic code that has yet to be definitively cracked. 5 lines of jumbled letters, the second one crossed out, have left cryptologists and codebreakers scratching their heads for over 7 decades. Despite extensive efforts to identify the Summerton Man, from facial reconstructions to DNA analysis, his identity remains a mystery. The case has sparked countless theories over the years. Was the Summerton Man a spy caught up in Cold War espionage? A jilted lover involved in a tragic romance? Or merely a man who died of natural causes, leaving behind an unintentional mystery? These questions continue to provoke curiosity and speculation, making the Summerton Man and the Tamam Shud case one of the most captivating unsolved mysteries of the 20th century. In a world where everyone has a name, the Summerton Man remains nameless and his story unresolved. Now we journey to Norway to uncover the enigma that is the Ilse Woman. In the winter of 1970, a woman's charred body was discovered in the remote Isdalen Valley, earning her the eerie moniker, the Isdal Woman. Her identity was as enigmatic as her end was tragic. Authorities found a string of fake passports, a cryptic diary filled with coded entries, and a suitcase with labels meticulously removed from her clothing. These baffling clues painted a picture of a woman constantly on the move, hiding behind a veil of false identities. Despite extensive investigations and public appeals, the Isdal woman's true identity remains unknown. Her case has evolved into one of the most profound mysteries of the 20th century, captivating crime enthusiasts and experts alike. Who was she? A spy, a woman on the run, or someone else entirely? In the icy solitude of Norway, the Isdal woman's story remains frozen in time, her secrets as yet unthawed. Our journey into the past now takes us through a series of unsolved crimes, each unique in its own right. First, we dive into the chilling case of the Cleveland torso murders. Between the early to mid-30s, a city was gripped by fear as a series of dismembered bodies began to appear. Shockingly, the heads and limbs were often never found. The killer, who was never identified, demonstrated a grim proficiency in their gruesome work, leaving behind a legacy of fear and unanswered questions. Next, we transition to a crime of a different nature: the audacious Great Train Robbery of 1963. A meticulously planned heist on a Royal Mail train traveling from Glasgow to London resulted in the theft of £2.6 million, an immense sum for the time. Despite the arrest and conviction of several gang members, the full story and the identities of all involved remain shrouded in mystery. Finally, we delve into the enigmatic disappearance of D.B. Cooper. In a daring act of air piracy, a man calling himself D.B. Cooper hijacked a Boeing 727 in November of 1971, demanded a ransom, and after receiving it, parachuted from the aircraft, disappearing into the night. Despite extensive investigations, the true identity of D.B. Cooper and his fate remain unknown. Each of these cases presents its own unique set of mysteries and unanswered questions. From the gruesome precision of the torso murderer, to the audacious planning of the great train robbers, to the daring escape of D.B. Cooper, these crimes have left indelible marks on the annals of criminal history. They continue to captivate us not for the horror or the audacity they represent, but for the enduring questions they leave behind. From gruesome murders to daring heists to vanishing hijackers, the mysteries of the past continue to intrigue us. As we continue our journey, we encounter more crimes that have left indelible marks on history. First on our list is the notorious Lufthansa heist. In 1978, an estimated $5 million in cash and nearly $1 million in jewelry were stolen from the Lufthansa cargo building at the John F. Kennedy International Airport in New York. The mastermind, James Burke, was a known associate of the Lucchese crime family. But despite arrests and convictions, the full amount stolen was never recovered, and many questions remain unanswered. Turning the pages of history, we arrive in 1982 at the chilling Tylenol murders. Over a span of 3 days, 7 people died in the Chicago area after consuming Tylenol capsules laced with cyanide. This act of random violence led to a nationwide panic, a massive product recall, and the introduction of tamper-proof packaging. Yet despite exhaustive investigations, the perpetrator remains unknown, shrouding the case in an impenetrable fog of mystery. Next, we journey to the remote German farm of Hinterkaifeck. In 1922, an entire family and their maid were brutally murdered with a mattock, a tool similar to a pickaxe. The crime scene presented a tableau of horror. The victims were lured into the barn one by one, where they met their gruesome end. The case was extensively investigated, yet the identity of the killer remains elusive. Theories range from vengeful neighbors to transient criminals, but the truth may be forever lost to time. In the annals of unsolved crimes, these cases stand out, their mysteries echoing across the decades. They serve as stark reminders of the human capacity for malice, greed, and violence. Yet they also highlight the relentless pursuit of justice, the tireless efforts of investigators, and the eternal hope that One day, these mysteries will be solved. Beyond the intrigue and the mystery, unsolved crimes have a profound impact on society and our collective psyche. They represent an open wound in our search for justice, a stark reminder of the fallibility of our systems, and an enduring challenge to our sense of safety and security. Unsolved crimes, particularly those of a violent or shocking nature, can create a ripple effect of fear and uncertainty that permeates entire communities. When a crime remains unsolved, it can leave a lingering sense of unease, a feeling that justice remains unmet, and a fear that the perpetrator is still at large. This unease can disrupt the fabric of a community, leading to heightened anxiety, distrust, and even changes in behavior as people seek to protect themselves and their loved ones. At a broader societal level, unsolved crimes can erode confidence in our criminal justice system. They can raise questions about the effectiveness of law enforcement and the justice system's ability to protect us and maintain social order. This can lead to disillusionment and cynicism, undermining faith in our institutions. Moreover, unsolved crimes can deeply impact our collective psyche. They can challenge our need for closure and resolution, leaving us with unresolved questions and unresolved fears. They become the stuff of urban legends and cautionary tales, shaping our cultural narratives and influencing our shared consciousness. These crimes also generate a sense of fascination and morbid curiosity. They become the subjects of books, movies, documentaries, and endless speculation, feeding our appetite for mystery and the macabre. This fascination, while often seen as a form of entertainment, can further amplify the impact of these crimes, keeping them alive in our imagination and our cultural discourse. While unsolved crimes may be a source of fascination, their impact extends far beyond the realm of entertainment. They leave indelible marks on our communities, our institutions, and our collective psyche. They challenge us to confront the darker aspects of human nature, the limitations of our systems, and our own fears and insecurities. They remind us that, despite our best efforts, some mysteries remain unsolved, some questions remain unanswered, and some crimes remain unpunished. As we reach the end of our journey, we are left with more questions than answers. The allure of these unsolved crimes that we've explored isn't found in tidy resolutions, but rather in the enduring mysteries they present. Each case, from the gruesome murder of Elizabeth Short, known as the Black Dalia, to the enigmatic Zodiac Killer, the perplexing Summerton Man, and the elusive D.B. Cooper, continues to captivate our collective curiosity. These unsolved crimes of the 20th century have left an indelible mark on our society. They've inspired countless books, movies, documentaries, and even influenced the way we approach criminal justice. The unknown identities of the Ilse Woman and the perpetrator of the Cleveland Torso murders, the audacity of the Great Train Robbery, the chilling mystery of the Hinterkaifeck murders, the sinister Tylenol murders, and the notorious Lufthansa heist, all these continue to puzzle us. Each one of these cases has left behind a legacy of questions. Who were these criminals? What were their motives? Why were they never caught? And perhaps most intriguingly, could these cold cases ever be solved with advancements in forensic science and technology? These mysteries have permeated our culture, shaping our understanding of crime and justice and influencing our narratives of fear and fascination. They've become more than just unsolved crimes. They've become enduring enigmas, stories that we tell and retell, hoping to find answers that may never come. In these tales of the unresolved, we find a reflection of our own curiosity and our deep-seated need to make sense of the world around us. These unsolved crimes serve as a reminder that there will always be mysteries that elude us, questions that remain unanswered, and stories that continue to captivate us. In the end, perhaps the allure of these unsolved crimes lies not in the answers they hold, but in the questions they continue to pose.